Hello, and welcome to another lawn mowing live stream. Let me flip the camera around and get started here. Doing one a little bit early today, got a head start on my route. As you can see, got all the Milwaukee battery stuff out today. Continuing that, testing. Can you use the Milwaukee equipment in a lawn care business? That is what I'm working on for this year. Using this Milwaukee gear. These are drying up. You can see here. Just put the camera down a little bit. Let me know if you're joining in. How the audio and streaming quality is. Where you're watching from. A couple of leaves falling already. Had a really hot week. So some leaf drop happening. Trying to get my lawns done for today. Just trying to get through that. It's my on week for the summer, meaning I'm mowing pretty much every lawn. And then next week is what I call an off week, meaning I only mow some of the lawns, the ones that are like watered. But my truck has been acting up again, so that has been a pain. And especially because it's not throwing up any engine codes, and the problem is intermittent. But it basically goes into limp mode at times. So you lose like all power. You can barely get the thing to, drive 10, 15 miles an hour. And there's like billowing black smoke in the diesel just pouring out of the back of it. And it's weird because, let's say, it's intermittent, so no check engine light comes on. And I'll just mow along. It'll be, working perfectly. And then turn the truck off, mow that lawn, and then come back, start the truck up, and all of a sudden it has no power. And you're just like crawling. So like yesterday it happened, and I was hoping I had the navigator with me in the trailer. So I was hoping to They knocked out my Thursday, the one I use a navigator on. I've done lots of live streaming from. Since I had it loaded, I was like, oh, let me just go knock that out. But then the truck was acting up, so I ended up going home instead, which is kind of a bummer because they've been calling for rain. Coming a ton of rain tomorrow. So all week I've been started mowing lawns on Monday, which I normally don't do. So starting my route early. Every day I've been ahead, and I was hoping, again yesterday, finished my route around, oh jeez, it was probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so when I finished all my Wednesdays, because I had already done some on the Tuesday, because my Tuesdays I had gotten a head start on the Monday. I was hoping to continue that in case the rain started early. But then I had to stop yesterday at 1 o'clock. But the truck just wouldn't cooperate, so I went home and disconnected the trailer. Just trying to look under the hood to see if I could see anything obvious. I've done some things. Last week I did a transmission service on it, thinking maybe it was that, even though the transmission fluid looked okay. Didn't smell burnt or anything. I was like, maybe it's that, because maybe that's why there's no engine code coming up. It's the transmission going into limp mode. And then when I started draining the fluid, it did look dirty, but it wasn't like crazy. But when you check the fluid on your finger, it's still red. But then as when it was pouring out, it was dirty looking. And of course, the little magnet in the filter that you clean out, the magnet had a bunch of, sludge on it, which is normal for a transmission. Changing fluid. So I had done that just as a preemptive, just in case. And I thought that was the issue, that maybe it was just the fluid was old. So the last time I did a transmission flush on the truck was like just before the pandemic. So it was like 7 or 8 years ago. But the truck only drives 5K a year because of my route density. So there was only about 40K on the truck since the last transmission, which was like nothing. Transmission flush. And the dealer did it the last time. It's really easy to do on those trucks, but so I used to do it all the time myself. Because the filter on that Allison transmission is external. Spin on, like an oil filter type filter. And then it has a drain plug on the oil, on the transmission fluid pan. So it's just like changing the oil in the vehicle. It's just a lot of oil, a lot of fluid, so I normally would just have the dealer do it. Same with the oil changes on that truck. It's a lot of quantity of oil, so I just ended up usually taking it in to get done. Just because it usually doesn't always fit in my drain pans. But so I decided to do it myself anyways this time around. So I did that and changed to a full synthetic transmission fluid. Fluid that's specifically made for that Allison transmission. That's what all the pros recommend for those trucks. and it's called Transcend 668 or something. Expensive stuff. It was like $80 per jug for, per gallon jug. Needed two of them, so it was like $160 for two jugs of transmission fluid. So I thought that was the issue, but turned out that it wasn't. It started going into limp mode again yesterday. So like I said, I got home early. Basically finished my Wednesdays, but wasn't able to get a head start on Thursdays. But luckily, because of this summer, the one lawn that I don't do bi-weekly, like everybody's a bi-weekly cut except for one, and that's that one commercial property that I have. So that one I haven't cut in about 3 weeks, and I was going to skip it again today. So that'll help for time-wise today. Just because that one is probably the worst condition one. So I drove by there and it's like, just looks like hay. It's all yellow. Even the dandelions aren't growing there. You can still see like the mower lines from 3 weeks ago. So I don't have to do that one today, so that helps a bit. I'm trying to beat the rain. If you remember this lawn last week, I had the dedicated mulch blade on the Milwaukee, and I was wondering how it was mulching fine. We can see now a week later, there's a little bit of traces of grass clippings there and there, but overall, it's pretty good. The front I don't see, oh, maybe a little bit right there, but overall that's pretty darn good. So, yeah, I got back in the truck yesterday, unhooked the trailer when I got home, took it for a drive, and of course when you're not pulling a trailer, it's a little bit easier to get the truck moving. It's still in limp mode, but not, with the trailer it's like you're crawling. So it seemed to be, because it's intermittent, it seemed to be getting a little bit better, and then we're going to mulch again today. Or maybe I'll bag it. Yeah, maybe I'll just bag it. Still have that mulch blade on there, but we'll bag with the mulch blade. So anyways, I took it around the block, the truck without the trailer, and put the hammer down in some spots where it was safe to do so, to see if that would do anything. And the truck started to drive fine again. And all that time, through it all, no check engine light, no indication that anything's wrong other than when it's actually happening and there's no power. That needs to be lower for this one. So just one of those things trying to sort out. I was thinking this morning about it, trying to search. There's just so many different possibilities. I'm not a diesel mechanic, so it's a little bit more difficult. So one thing I tried today that I never tried before was asking ChatGPT and putting in the symptoms. Just said, hey, 2005 Sierra 2500 Duramax, going into limp mode intermittently, low power, tons of black smoke. And then it started talking about being a fuel air kind of issue and pointed me in some things to check. When I said it was intermittent, ChatGPT came back and said that that kind of changes things, because it was initially suggesting vacuum leaks and air leaks around the turbo and things like that. But once I said it was intermittent, it says, okay, well then it's probably not that, because those issues would not be intermittent. They would cause the same problems I'm seeing, but they would not be intermittent. There would be a constant issue that would, start and then would just always be there. Where like now, this morning, I went to check the truck this morning, see if I could get it. And so far, this is third house in and the truck's running normal. So it's one of those things, right? So ChatGPT seems to think that potentially, still obviously an air fuel issue. So either the injector pump could be going bad, or the vanes on the turbo are starting to stick. And I also said to check the mass airflow sensor as well as the map sensor. So I'm going to start with that, start with like cleaning those, I think. But again, it's hard to say because it's intermittent, right? So I may just take it to a mechanic, because they will have some scan tools and stuff that are able to dig in to the system versus just kind of a code reader that I have that only works if the engine's throwing a code. Plus, they would have a better understanding about a diesel truck versus what I'm kind of figuring. So I'm hoping to kind of figure it out by next week, so that it's, I can probably get by next week mowing lawns, being the off week, mowing a handful of lawns with either using my wife's old car, which I have on standby right now at home. Told the kids it's my wife's first, one of the cars we bought her in the past. When we bought her a new car, it's a little Mazda 5, like station wagon thing, minivan station wagon thing. When we bought her latest vehicle, we were going to trade it in, but the trade-in value was so low, and the dealer tried to do some trickery in telling us they were going to give us like $3,000 for it, which was acceptable. But then once the paperwork came, it was actually showing that the trade-in value was $500. So I was like, $500. I'm not trading my car in for $500. I paid, when we bought the car, we bought it brand new. It was fully loaded. At the time, it was like 30 grand. It was like trading in the car I paid 30 grand for years prior for $500. I'll just keep it for that. And I had a little beater car that I had bought, but I bought it used at the time. So I was like, I'll just sell my little beater car that I was using for just like running to the store or taking my kid to soccer practice or stuff like that, because it was saving me from having to unhook the truck all the time from the trailer, which was a pain doing that every day. So I was like, you know what, I'll sell the little beater. I'll just keep my wife's old car as my beater. It's my, winter kind of vehicle and things, because it was a much nicer car than the little vehicle I had as a beater. So I have that at home. Well, unfortunately, it's not something you put a trailer onto. I don't have another vehicle that I could put a trailer hooked up to. Worst comes to worst, I'd have to rent something. But I have the little Mazda. If I need to, I can go all, chuck into truck style. And just, luckily with all the battery stuff, I just wouldn't be able to do any of the large lawns with the big machines. But again, I could probably, except for that commercial property, would be the only one that I wouldn't be able to do with small mowers. I could do some of the other lawns that I do. The bigger mowers, I could get away with doing them with push mower. It wouldn't be fine. Some of them are on that kind of just being a little bit too big. So you wouldn't want to do them. But in a pinch, it can be done. So that's what I could do. And that's what I've got for today on standby. If the truck gives me trouble, I would just go home, limp home, in limp mode, and just load the walkie mower here, trimmer, and handheld blower into the back of the car and go finish whatever lawns I have left. But so far, so good. My big kind of dilemma for today is, will I take a risk if the truck is running well to load up the navigator to go do the lawn I would normally do with it? The problem is that it's in a neighborhood where it's a little bit tricky if the truck gives me issues, where it's at the bottom of a big hill and there's only one real way to get out of that neighborhood, and that would be like avoiding the hill would not be an option. So that's the only thing that worries me. It's because truck's in limp mode and it's got a trailer on it and it's got the navigator in it, and the truck's only able to do limp mode. I don't know if I'd make it up the hill. So that's the excitement for today. how lucky I'm feeling. Otherwise, like I said, what I would do is, the truck is not running properly, is I would just load the stuff into the car and go push mow it, which would be a little bit rough, but at least it's not super hot today because of all the rain coming tomorrow. It's supposed to be torrential rain tomorrow, so there'll be no mowing of lawns tomorrow, and the type of rain that they're calling for. So you can see the clouds are rolling in, temperatures have cooled down today. It's a little bit of a breeze, which is nice. That's what's bringing in those clouds, though. To this lawn here, I could probably go to skip it next week. Hasn't grown a lot. Now it's slowed down. So this one might go to every 2 weeks now too. But then you never know because of all the rain tomorrow. What happens? Get a good soaking. That might perk things up. We had a bunch of rain last week as well. One day was really heavy. Not as heavy as they're predicting for tomorrow, but it was still pretty heavy for a summer day. So I definitely saw that lawn's kind of greened up this week, considering time of year, kind of drought that it's been most of the summer. Let's check and see if there's any questions or anything. Let me go grab the tripod, give you guys a different look. I left it in the truck, but it's right there, so I can just quickly grab it. Let's just grab it. No questions in the chat. Oh, wrong button. Hit the remote start. Like pressing the button and going, I don't hear the lock. And of course that probably messed up with the Bluetooth. Alright, let's see. Well, let me know if you guys can still hear the audio there. So I'm cutting this at 2 inches. Also, hopefully me hitting that remote start didn't trigger whatever that intermittent problem is now. That would be a pain. It's so annoying. Again, there's no check engine light or anything, right? So there's no, like, nothing, not an engine code that you can kind of at least have some sort of idea of what's going on. Very, very annoying. Let's see if the phone will stay there. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. We'll see. Luckily right now, the truck is working so far this morning. So hopefully I can get through the day. And then, like I said, other than tomorrow where it's going to be pouring rain, I don't have a shop to work in, but I can start looking at stuff on the truck on Saturday, Sunday, Monday sort of thing, and decide, maybe do some normal fixes like clean the mass airflow sensor, do that basic stuff. Let's see. Although it's one of those things, right? Because there's no check engine light, because the problem is intermittent. It's one of those things so far where every time I think it's something and I fix it or diagnose whatever that is, it seems to work fine for a few days. And then it rears its ugly head. So it might be best to just take it to a mechanic where they can put scan tools and stuff on it. Otherwise, just kind of play the same game over and over again of trying something and waiting a few days where it seems to be working fine, and all of a sudden, for no reason, starts doing it again. Ugh. Turn you guys around to the other side. No comments? Has got any chat suggestions of what my truck issue could be? So if you're just joining, the truck has been giving me an intermittent problem where it'll run fine a day, seemingly with no issues, and then I'll be mowing the lawn, everything's good, the truck's running fine, it's towing fine, then all of a sudden get back in the truck to go to the next lawn, and it's like the truck is in limp mode. It's very slow to accelerate, like crawling, and there's billowing black smoke coming out of the diesel exhaust, like where I can't even see behind me. So much smoke. Just lost my headphones in the tree. So it's just like billowing black smoke happening, and then it kind of resolves itself at some point. whether it's the next day or the next time I use the truck. When it happens, I usually end up having to go home because it's whatever, or because of my root density. Like the last time it happened, I ended up just mowing all my lawns anyways because it happened, like, say, in this neighborhood. And it's like, well, I don't have to drive fast because I'm in this neighborhood anyways. So I might as well just get my lawns done. So that's what I end up doing. It's like I'm only going like 2 minutes down the road. And it's all residential here, so I'm going slow anyways. And yeah, it's a little smoky, but not as bad as when I'm on like the actual main roads trying to, drive the speed limit. In the residential areas, I guess I can just drive slow with my hazards on, get to the next lawn, mow it. So that's what I end up doing. It's like, well, I'm here now. It's not going to change anything. But yeah, it's just so annoying that when there's an issue like that with a vehicle and no check engine light to kind of point you in a direction. It's pretty annoying, mostly because, like I say, no check engine light or anything to really kind of go by. These are the things you gotta, are gonna happen when you're running a lawn care business or any business. Things happen. You gotta sort it out. You gotta figure it out. I was pretty frustrated though. I started looking up trucks for sale. This does get pretty annoying. I just don't know if I want to get into payments for a truck. Because, like, of course, who wants payments? Nobody likes payments. Monthly payments. But at the same time, my truck is 20 years old this year. So I was talking to my wife about it and just kind of saying, like, when do you call it for a truck where it's not worth hanging on to it But yeah, it's cheap to repair it relatively compared to buying a new vehicle, but it's also has a long list of things that this truck needs done now. It's got this current issue, and then parts of my truck bed are completely rotten. That there's literally only the spray-on bed liner. So if I were to open it up and look inside, it would look perfect. But when you go underneath, you see that there's actually holes where it's just a spray-on bed liner that's holding it together, basically. I had one of my brake lines fail last year, and the shop replaced the section, and it's a common area. Those brake lines will fail on those trucks over years, but it's also the first spot of a few different areas. So it's one of those things too, where the clean up my grass I dropped here. Where the mechanic was telling me because I was telling him last year should I just replace all the brake lines, get it all done? And he's like, no, you don't have to worry as long as you're, if it blows a brake line, you're still going to be able to stop. But he says you just can't drive it after. But it's not obviously pedal's gonna go to the floor and all that stuff. You'll be able to get it to stop. It's just you can't drive it again. You have to tow it, sort of thing. Because I was worried that there'd be no brakes at all. So that was on my to-do list, is to replace all the brake lines. Yeah, it's just one thing after, vehicles get to a certain age. Just one thing after another. It's not the end, it's the start of maintenance and things that will come up with an older vehicle. It's been a great truck up to this point, the 18 years that I've owned it. But it just seems like now, the last couple of years, it's just one thing after another with it. So while it might be cheaper just to keep it and replace some things here and there, there's some big ticket items on that truck that will need to be done as well, like the diesel injectors, which if a shop does, runs about $8,000 here. So I'm not sure if that's worth it. Also, this particular year, 2005 truck, they were prone to head gaskets going. Now, I don't tow heavy, so I'm not too worried about that, but it could still happen without that, and that's another $4,000 or $5,000 or something for a shop to do. Because they take it apart and they drill out the studs that mount the head, and they put in heavier ones to prevent it from doing it again. They put in bigger studs. So yeah, just becomes one of those things where it's is it worth it, or is it time to just get another truck? Time to bite the bullet and buy something new. But then that brings me to another predicament of what do I get if I do replace the truck. I don't think I'd buy another diesel, just because For me, it's just not. I don't need that torque and towing capacity anymore. Um, and then for gas trucks, they just are not. Um, they're just not. What's the word? They're just not. I don't even. I got the word on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. They're just not just appetizing to me, I guess. There's just so much stuff on them these days, so many things, and there's so many different, pollution devices, and so many different. They're just so much more complicated that I think at that point I would just probably. I'm honestly leaning towards if I were to buy another truck. Um, that I'm leaning towards like a Ford Lightning, just going full battery truck. Seeing as I'm using all battery equipment, I think that would be kind of cool just to go full battery truck. I can charge at home and that, so that's not a big deal. It would have plenty of torque to pull, and I'm not worried about range because my route density is so small. So it's just one of those things that I think I would lean towards something like that if I was going to buy another truck. Um, but yeah, just lots of things going on in your mind, right? Lots of things to add stress to the day of things. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Should you just pull the trigger and buy another truck and do that, or try to sort this one out? But then, you know, what's next after this one? Like I said, there's a whole list of stuff on this truck that would need to be done over time. That's just never ending, right? As the truck ages and gets older. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's running good for the rest of the day. That's my main concern right now, is that happens. I gotta see here if I've dropped off the invoice for last month in the mailbox for this client, because it's been bi-weekly mowing, so some clients have already dropped off their invoice. Some of them I haven't. I can't remember which ones. So just going through. Oh, no, I still have his invoice here, so I will have to go put this at the front door as well. But that's about it, I think, for today on this live stream. See how it goes. Maybe I'll just go drop this off at the door. Maybe we'll start the truck and see how it's running as well. Yeah, let's go. Let's go do that and see. I'll just go grab. Actually, let me throw this back. Throw the camera back on my chest, and then I'll go put the invoice at the front door, and then we will try the truck out and see. Hopefully it's running still. It's usually what I do with my invoices at the end of every month. All my customers are credit card on file, so I just bill their credit card, and then the next visit I'm there, I drop the invoice off. I just slide it between the door weather stripping like that, fold it up, and slip it in there. All right, let's try the truck and see. I'm going to start the truck. The Bluetooth is going to switch to the truck's built-in Bluetooth, so audio is not going to be that great. Yeah, and then we'll see how it goes. I might have to end the stream partway through, but we'll see how it goes. So it's running. Seems okay right now. So that's good. Hasn't been triggered. Maybe I can continue the stream then. Since I'm in this neighborhood, go to the next one. Let's see how the truck runs. Yeah, see, it wouldn't be running this good during the issue. It's immediately noticeable when it's doing it. Just lose all power. And I'm looking out my passenger mirror, passenger side view mirror. I'm looking at the back there because it'd be like just black smoke, but it's all clear. It's currently clear, so that's good. So yeah, it just throws you off. No check engine lights on the dash. It's accelerating fine right now. I can hear the turbo wind down after acceleration. Bit of a little hill here I'm going up. Yeah, it has full power. It's not you can hear the diesel whistle. It doesn't sound like the turbo is stuck because you can hear that whistle, but I guess if it's intermittent, it could be something. Maybe as the engine gets warm, that'll expand, so maybe the vanes are getting stuck. Roundabout. See, it seems to be running fine right now. See, hopefully the Bluetooth switched back to the microphone. I'm at the next house. Truck seemed to be running fine. I don't know if you could hear my talk in there. Just wait for a car to go by. See how dry some of these lawns are across the street. Looks like they're mowing the cemetery over there too. You can hear a big zero turn going. This one is pretty dry too. Some spots, looks like some issues with the sprinkler system. But yeah, luckily, so far, truck seems to be okay. So yeah, I'm wondering if maybe one of the things I gotta kind of trying to make note of if it happens again is if it's later in the day or if it happens in the morning, because maybe temperature, like vehicle operating temperature, maybe that has something to do with it. Like I say, because metal expands and contracts, so maybe those turbo vanes. That's one of the things I read and what ChatGPT suggested as well. That the vanes on the turbo on this truck, they are variable. So the vanes, instead of just being like a normal fan blade, they can actually expand and contract depending on how much boost is required. And I guess they can get stuck over time with like soot. So maybe it's that. If it is that, sounds expensive. I think I did do a brief look at turbo prices. Replacement turbos, it was like $3,000 or something. And just the turbo, no labor. Definitely looks like this house has an issue with the irrigation. She needs to call back her sprinkler company. We were here a few weeks ago doing something, and you definitely see where it's getting water and not getting water. Certain times of the year, like stepping stones, don't need to be touched. Other times of the year, it's like seems like every week that they are requiring trimming up. This, I don't know what the heck is going on here. The city dug this out, this section here, and this is how they left it. With all this crabgrass and stuff that's growing in here now. Originally, it looked like they reseeded it, but they may have not. They might be coming back to it because they have done that before. Or it's been kind of weird for the last, actually since I started this lawn. This little patch here has been weird in the city. Every few weeks to months are here doing something. So I don't know what the heck is up with this little area there. The client originally mentioned that the city was doing something, but it's been a year now. So I don't know if it's still ongoing. It's the only one that they've done. I don't know if they're finished or if they're coming back. I thought they were finished finally because it looked like they overseeded it. But then, of course, we didn't get watered and stuff, so I don't know if that's just the issue. I have no idea. This client here too is, I don't think she's staying in the house for long, like long term. I'll mulch this one. At least last year initially when she hired me, she told me the house was going to be put for sale. But, and she actually last year prepaid, like a large lump sum. But she didn't know what was going on. And I think she was, I don't know exactly. There was an issue where she didn't want to give me her credit card last year. It was going to be changed or something. She actually did give me the credit card. She just said, like, don't charge it without letting her know. She told me to charge the initial amount, which she prepaid almost for the entire season at once. Because she didn't know what was going to go on with the credit card and stuff. And then I assumed as well, she said she was going to sell the house, that I was only mowing it for last year, but this year she wanted me to continue, so I thought, okay, well, probably in the springtime, usually when houses go for sale. But still has not gone up for sale. So we will continue to mow. This year, though, she didn't prepay. She just told me to bill her credit card. So that's what I've been doing each month. And it has been fine. So This one's only a front lawn. There's no back lawn. I think it's probably a swimming pool or something. Back. Oh, I forgot to edge that side there. Yeah, it's just weird though that the city would leave this like this in this particular neighborhood where houses look like this. It's like the whole neighborhood is like really nice houses. So that's why I think the city is probably not done with that spot, whatever it is that they're doing. So after this one, I'll have to probably call the stream because the next, we'll see how the truck runs for a little bit, and then we'll probably have to call it because the next lawn is in a different neighborhood, so I gotta actually get onto the main road, so I'm not gonna do that while streaming. You guys want the tripod set up for this one? For the rest of this one, I guess. Alright, I'll set it up. I'll set up the thing, just edge that one edge first that I missed. And I have the tripod for the rest of this little front yard mow. So far, I've been really liking the Milwaukee string as well. I got that whole roll of it there in the back. And it holds up well. Let's grab a tripod. Unlocking the truck. Like, where did I put it? It's right there. Right on the seat. Alright. Give me a second. Been streaming for, what is this? An hour and 10 minutes and not one comment. That's pretty crazy. Not one high. Nope. Just went over it's like a napkin, a brown napkin. I didn't see in the brown grass. It's kind of camouflaged there. fast food napkin. This client's lawns need some major weeding. She's usually out here doing it herself. And those boxwood hedges she trims herself too. That looks like she has been maybe a bit busy. Like I say, I've been really enjoying this Milwaukee mower. I hope it performs well come the fall, because it's been pretty nice to use. How lightweight it is, how ergonomic it is. And I know it's not, I don't think it's meant for wet weather, this mower, but I will be testing that out, just seeing how it does. I would suspect at the very least I would probably have to, well, there's no true high lift blade, so you'd have to go back to the standard blade that came with it, which is more of a mid lift or low lift. But that's all you got available. They have their high lift, but it's more of a mulching blade, so it kind of negates trying to use it in the fall with wet grass. Grab the tripod back, you can see mulched pretty good. These growth areas look pretty good. No real signs of any clippings there. Here's that napkin I hit. I did not see that. It's almost the exact same color as that brown grass. What I'll do is just throw that napkin in my bag, and then I can take it with me to the next one. I'll just bag the next one, which I normally do. Oh, I'm getting low battery warnings on the phone. Streaming is really tough on your phone battery. I started with almost 90% battery, although my phone is the 12 Pro Max, So it's an older phone now. So I think I do have when I go into the settings and service battery, I think it's only holding like 72% capacity now. Is what it was new. So there's that. Which is probably part of the problem. It's another thing I've been having intermittent issues with is the phone. My touch screen going weird. So only about a month away from new iPhones coming out, so I'm just holding off. Get a new phone this year. I think I deserve it, so to speak. Been rocking the 12 since it came out. What are we at now? The 17 coming out now? So I've skipped a few generations of phone. So I think I'm due for an upgrade. Get the 17. Although there's rumors that Apple's finally putting out a folding iPhone, but that's next year. That that folding screen technology is finally at a point where it's reliable. So they have already secured a contract with Samsung to manufacture those folding screens to their specs. So then I was like, oh, should I wait till next year? But that could be interesting. A folding iPhone. I'm just going to tilt you guys up because I'm going to be looking at some invoices here just to see if this one is still here or if Yep, it's still here. All right, so this one I'm going to have to just to keep the customer's information. Private. All right. Take my glasses off. Sometimes my little trick of putting invoices in the door doesn't always work. There you go. Just needed a little help. Door weather stripping was tight, so it was bending the paper as I was trying to tuck it in there. So I just kind of put some light pressure on the door to kind of create enough of a little gap to slip the paper through. All right. And I think we're good. So now back to the truck. Again, Bluetooth is going to switch. So I'm not sure what my battery's at. Let me switch this back to the front camera. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the truck is running fine. I'm going to end the stream midway through the drive here as I get towards the end of the block. But we'll see how the truck's running. And then, yeah, that'll be it for this one, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. Nobody was chatting in the chat, so no shout-outs for anybody there today. But thanks for all of you guys that have watched live streams. If you like these types of this type of content, then be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That's the only way you're going to know when I go live doing these mowing live streams on the job. Yeah, so let's see how the truck goes. Again, audio is going to change as it switches to the truck's Bluetooth. And hopefully the truck continues to run. I can hopefully get through the rest of the day. Car coming, so I'm just going to let that car pass. Yeah, seems fine. I can tell right away. Just with the throttle. That seems to be running okay so far, so hopefully that's good news. We'll see.